Oh my goodness, Xan, dude,
Yo.
what a freaking day, my God.
You're right.
Oh, what a week, I should say. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's good. You know what? What a week is a good way to put it. Because yesterday I was talking to Tara and I was like, you know what? Today's been such a long year.
Yeah,
Like,
it really has been, but
Yeah.
it's also gone by so fast. And today we celebrate 2 different milestones, man.
Yeah.
More importantly, number 20 on the podcast,
Yes,
episode number
definitely.
20.
Yes,
for all you
crucial.
people watching either on iTunes, Spotify, or on the YouTube channel. What's up, people? But besides that, Xan, we broke 50,000 subs.
Yes.
Which is kind of like,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
We did it early too because we'd predicted, we'd game planned it out. We thought we weren't going to hit 50K until end of the month.
Yeah. And I think when we started the year, we thought by the end of the year, 50K was our goal. So
Right, yeah.
thank all of you guys watching
Yeah.
on all the
You
platforms.
guys are the best.
Like, it really does mean a lot to us. Our team leader this morning was like, okay, we broke 50K. Now there's no celebrations until 100K, which is like, frick. He's kind of right. So
Yeah, right.
we got a long way to go. We'll be there for the ride for all of you guys. Welcome back to the Esports Rewind podcast, breaking down all of the esports news. Xan, you got some stories today for us?
I got some interesting,
You always do.
something to talk about.
You always
Yeah.
do, man. So let's crack right into it, and hope you guys all enjoy. All right, Xan, I'll start her off on a little bit of a traditional sports comparison note, okay?
Okay. Hit me with it.
Speaking of big weeks, not only for our channel, esports in general, as
Yeah,
per usual,
definitely,
it's been a pretty crazy year. This week followed that. It's actually FaZe Clan. They continue to make some impressive announcements. We give them flack for a lot of things.
Oh yeah, they signed with that Quidditch team, right? That's what that is.
It's a rugby team. It's Manchester
Quidditch.
City.
Same thing.
Quidditch, rugby, soccer, whatever the frick. We got roasted.
Yeah,
We got
little
lit
bit.
on fire when I first uploaded the video because I put Manchester United on the thumbnail.
I would have loved for you to get it wrong right there. Be like,
Oh my! FaZe Clan partner with Manchester United. I put Man City on the thumbnail. No, that's not how it went down.
I thought you were serious for a second. I was like, did you literally just do it though?
Okay, so they partnered with
okay.
Man City, and now I'm going to confuse myself.
Yeah.
I kid you not, within 10 minutes of me having the wrong thumbnail up, nearly 20 comments of people like, oh, big freaking fail. And I'm like, oh, man. I don't know.
Soccer fans are serious.
Football fans, Xan.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but you'd think. But either way, besides us failing, us messing it up, they continue to expand to markets that I'm surprised by it. When it comes to brands and esports, I think 100 Thieves and FaZe are certainly.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing this morning.
They're like mirroring each other.
It's so weird that FaZe and 100 Thieves are the only two. I think they're the smartest orgs in the business right now.
Yeah.
From pure business, finance standpoint.
Like, especially when you look at their big rosters, 100T have League of Legends, and
Right.
FaZe maybe have CSGO with their big announcements. They could be a big roster. Besides that, they don't have no offense to the orgs,
definitely.
but they are strictly looking into being a brand, and they're doing a great job of it.
Yeah.
And that could in the future pay off as, okay, content and brand is way more important than teams and esports.
Oh yeah, just
at this point in time.
From pure thinking about the overhead required to run teams and everything,
Yeah.
versus having a team of personalities
and content
night
which
and day.
almost pay for themselves.
Yeah, right.
And so we've entered a really weird time where all of a sudden, we'll talk about it in a bit here as well. We have organizations doing 3 different paths.
Low key thinking about it, it's kind of we've kind of come in a circle where esports org started with everybody's doing montages and team tages, and now we're come back to the point where it's content is king again.
Yes, and montages are dead, but you're kind of right.
Yeah.
It's going full circle. Esports are all about teams. No, let's go back to content.
Yeah.
And so we've seen orgs almost pursue 3 different types. I would say in my head right now, we got the franchise approach.
Right.
We got the general esports approach, which is avoiding franchising, all those big fees.
Right.
And we got content. We got brands. And so I don't know. I think it's really kind of weird to see where esports is going, and I have to give props. FaZe is doing an amazing job. They've signed with Offset. They've signed with a bunch of NBA players.
They got tons of big names.
Now, of course, this latest announcement with Man City. I mean, they are doing amazing things. They're going to Asia. Apparently going to be branching out to the Asian mobile market.
Makes all of the sense in the world.
Why not capitalize on that content?
Yeah, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry over there in China. I think they're going to Thailand, right? That's what
they're going to start in Thailand, but that's their entrance into the Asian scene.
Right.
That's what rumors say.
Course.
Either way, though, Xan, I think
it's a smart move regardless.
We really bash on. I gotta own up to it. We've bashed on FaZe in the past.
I don't bash on FaZe.
Okay.
As an individual,
you've never said a bad thing about Banks and his public personality.
No, actually, I don't think I have.
Check the public record.
I think.
Pretty sure we talked about. Never mind.
No, I think we talked about it, but I think I've said that, like, yeah, it's dumb, but that's like the right thing to do to make money.
Okay, you might be right on that. We'll have someone out there maybe will catch you, but either way,
I'll blow me up if you want.
I'll give them credit, man. FaZe is definitely on top of their game right now. We will see what directions all these orgs do. Just props to FaZe Clan.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Jake. So this story is a little weird. Might wind up being nothing in a couple months, but yeah, I know, right? Solid way to start. This might be a story that might not matter whatsoever.
But let's talk about it.
But let's talk about it because I find it really kind of fascinating, and it's like I'm trying to think of. I haven't heard of a system working this way before.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about Mixer for a second, right?
All right, gladly.
Yeah. If you know, like a couple weeks ago, they didn't have ads for a long time. They just added ads to the platform, like, a few weeks ago.
I actually did not know that, so news to me.
Neither did I until I read up. I just read this article from VentureBeat, and I remember Pete, our video editor, a couple weeks ago was complaining about, like, because we all watch streams and video stuff to get content. And he was like, I get so many ads on Mixer. It's like every 10, 15 minutes type beat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right? All right, but it turns out creators get 0 ad revenue.
Oh, shoot.
Literally 0.
Oh, no, you're bringing us bad Mixer news?
Yeah, bad Mixer. I don't even know. That's the thing. I don't know if it's bad. It's just super weird.
Yeah. Do you know? Tell us more details, because before I talk about this myself.
Okay, so apparently the ads are only supposed to show up on partnered channels, or like anything that Microsoft itself runs, and users who have the premium subscription, the monthly one for Mixer, or if they're subscribed to any partnered channel, they don't see any ads.
That's okay, pretty standard, pretty good,
yeah, which is default, right? But they've said that for now, the revenue we are receiving during our pilot advertising test is funding other programs that benefit creators directly. Each partner gets a portion of the subscriber revenue now and will be getting a portion of the advertising revenue very soon. Direct donations are allowed as are third-party artist subscription services.
So I think it's unique. I think it's actually pretty cool that they're actually openly saying, hey, this is going towards other things that will benefit them in the future. And the only reason I'm not saying, oh, this is actually terrible is because don't Mixer streamers also make more from their subs than Twitch partners do?
Yeah, they definitely do.
And alongside that, I think what we've seen from Sparks and Embers, they also make a lot more from that. There's a lot more ways for viewers to actually generate these Embers or Sparks. I'm not sure which one it is to donate.
I think it's Ember.
I want to say you guys probably know as well, but I think at least to offset that, they definitely offer a lot of ways for their streamers to earn more off the platform. So
definitely.
I don't think any Twitch streamers are really running ads to a point where that's a giant part of their income anyway. So I'm okay with this news.
Yeah, it's like I said, it could be a nothing story, but it's just like it feels so weird to say like, okay, we're just gonna put ads on your stuff, and then we're just going to take that. We're not going to tell you what it's for.
Yes.
We're not going to say anything about that. And like, Twitch, for all the ads, it says, hey, this split goes here. You know exactly how that money gets paid out.
And you run your own ads, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can choose whether or not to have ads.
So I wonder how that works for Mixer streamers.
As far as I can tell, they can't choose whether or not they have ads on their channel.
See, it's that's where it can get a little sucky.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Ninja's popping off. Maybe he breaks 20K again, and all of a sudden they're just constantly running ads every 15 minutes just to rake in some money. That's very interesting. I wonder. There's going to be someone out there, so it might be a no news story in the future, but there will be someone out there that gets pissed off by this.
I can't wait for like 2 months from now to hear like,
Kotaku.
Hey, Mixer stole $20,000 from creators through ads,
and we'll be here to cover it because you talked about it first.
Yeah. Hey.
Mixer didn't stop playing ads my entire stream. I lost 600 viewers because of Mixer.
Right.
We'll see what happens of it. As of right now, it seems like a non-issue, but it could be something.
It's interesting.
You heard it here first. All right, Xan, I'm bringing up this topic because I know you got some knowledge in the field, and I just want to know your opinion on things. And I think people really care about your opinions on things, so I'm going to ask you anyway.
Go for it.
All right, this is all about. Sorry if you guys can hear my mic just shaking. I'm just like,
he's so nervous. He's like,
this is all about luxury brands entering the esports and gaming scene. If you guys actually were here last week, because we pre-record these episodes, I was putting it out there. If you guys were here last week, we talked about Louis Vuitton entering League of Legends. They are going to be designing the League of Legends World's Case. Alongside that, dropping a skin capsule in the game with Louis Vuitton character skins.
Yeah, and some clothes later.
Yes, which I'm actually super excited for. I don't wear LV. All right, I'm not a fashion guy. You're definitely more of the fashion guy than anybody.
I got a LV bracelet on.
There we go. And this is why I bring up the topic to someone like you. obviously we talked about, if you guys watched that episode, it's not the first time that, designer fashion brands have gone into the esports scene. As far as they've gone, though, is Sims 4 and Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, which was also Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, which is also LV entering that as well. So my giant question to you is, first of all, what do you think about Louis Vuitton returning to this is a worldwide international game.
It's a big move.
And second, what game do you think they could be going to next, and do you think that's a good move? So kind of a three-pronged question.
Okay.
Let's start it off first. What do you think about LV coming back with League of Legends?
I think this is the first move that makes sense. Like, of any game, League of Legends is the way to go, because that game is one that focuses so heavily on skins, and if nothing else, Louis Vuitton knows how to make good clothes.
He means that in a good way too. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a lot more based, but I know. I got what you mean.
Yeah. The guy they got in charge, Nicholas. I always mess up his last name. I'm pretty sure it's just Square.
Probably close enough.
Yeah, he's brilliant, avant-garde designer. Really interesting though that he's in a weird spot where, like, say if you think about a top tier person, like I'd always say, yeah, Nicholas is great, but he's no Tricky Ricky, or he's great, but he's no Raph or anything like that. He's like,
these are just names to me. But
I
get what you mean.
Yeah, he's got a really solid track record, and I think we're gonna see some really good products out of him, and I think it's very likely if League of Legends works out well, they'll probably go to Overwatch next.
That's what you're thinking. Interesting, because they were one of the ones I did actually bring up my video.
Right, yeah.
I think the good way to think about it as well, because you say he's great. Maybe he's not the top of the top tier.
Right.
He's still great. Also partnered with the animation and design team over at Riot, who have already done tremendous things.
Right.
You got to imagine they're going to work on some stuff. And if it's for Worlds, it's going to be some fantastic stuff.
Right, I would hope so.
And I'm super excited. So based on that, the next game, you think Overwatch. My idea was, if there's any game out there that's actually been partnering with any partnerships in general, I would say Fortnite was my next one.
They're not doing Fortnite.
The only reason is because I don't think they would is because they're too childish of a demographic.
Yeah, really.
For Louis Vuitton to take seriously.
Louis would not. Yeah.
So I'm curious. I know Fortnite's definitely a more kid game than Overwatch, but if you think LV is going to avoid Fortnite and go to Overwatch, what is there that big of a difference in demographic?
I don't even think it's so much of a demographic thing, although that definitely plays a part for sure, right? It's for example, the reason they picked Final Fantasy is because costumes are like crucial in that game. Like the game that specifically that they had the collaboration for, I'm pretty sure it was Lightning Returns, where you literally had entire mechanics based on changing clothes, right? And say for example, Fortnite, obviously skins are huge, but just the connotation isn't in line with Louis Vuitton's luxury image at all. League of Legends, much more so is, I feel.
Okay.
Where like even if you just look at all of their designs at like a base level, League of Legends designs are very Louis Vuitton-esque.
Okay. And I'll just be like, hey, Overwatch was on my list. I'll say that.
Overwatch also has very like, you could see where Louis Vuitton would just slide in real quick. And
so do you think then, based off that, what about games that only have weapon skins?
I don't think they'd really care that much,
because it just wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, honestly, I would be totally unsurprised if Louis Vuitton leaves it at this for esports, then goes back to like non-esports games after this.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was trying to think about this, especially when it comes time for a Valve to be interactive. Valve has never been the active pursuant,
right.
And I'm not sure. I don't think Louis is probably the same way, right? They when it came to League of Legends and Louis Vuitton, they probably were both mutual on the grounds of this could be a great partnership.
Right.
I feel like Valve is not going to go after them, and Louis Vuitton does not need Valve, and so I don't think an FPS game where you can only see weapons. When it comes time for CSGO, you have to community-made skins.
Right. Yeah.
I don't see Louis Vuitton going to the Steam market, making a skin, giving approval, and being like, "Yo, use our skins." So I'm definitely with you, and I can definitely see both your things coming true. Either Overwatch or them just coming in and saying, "Hey, League of Legends was cool. We went to the biggest event of the year in League of Legends Worlds, one of the biggest events, and we're out."
Yeah, honestly, they could just be done. Louis Vuitton doesn't do a lot of partnerships.
Yeah,
this is like a very rare thing. You got like maybe 10 tops in the past like 15 years or so, and so it's huge that League got it. They might be done with games honestly after this. So
we could be seeing Louis now. We might not see Louis later.
Yeah. Okay, Jake, I got a story that makes me real sad, unfortunately.
You got some great openings today.
Yeah.
This might be a nothing story. This story makes me sad.
It's depressing.
All right. I'm almost ready for this, I guess.
I think we can all agree that a lot of people, I think the general consensus from Call of Duty fans, longtime Call of Duty fans, was that everybody was excited about Modern Warfare.
Oh no! Yes.
People were saying this is the best Call of Duty we've seen in years. This is like, it plays so much better. It's like
before you even start.
Yeah.
I am still on the Modern Warfare train. Okay. Just so people know, pessimistic PD Xan over here is going to be coming out. I'm still on the Modern Warfare train. I'm excited to hear what you have to say because you always bring up great points.
Well, I mean, I think from a gameplay perspective, the game still looks
no.
fantastic.
Xan, what made you sad? Let us know. What made you sad, man?
Activision Blizzard just couldn't for 5 seconds stop going like, can we get some money?
How much can we make?
Yeah, right. They couldn't. They were like they were doing everything right for like. They were like, hey, no more season pass. Everybody gets the maps.
DLC, yes, we're all in.
And then they just had to be like, oh, that one part, yeah, it's exclusive for a year, which is insane. Like, I know they're saying it's a small part of the game, but this is something that was in, from what it sounds like, this sounds like the survival mode for MW3.
So it came out, survival mode is going to be exclusive to PS4 players only. Survival mode is a part of the Spec Ops mode.
Yes. And honestly, that had me like really irritated, and I was about to cancel my pre-order, but then came out from the leaker that he's leaked a lot of stuff about Modern Warfare and been right, and he's like, yeah, tons of microtransactions all over the place, including weapons, and I was like, all right, I canceled my pre-order. I can't.
I'm still there,
support
by
that.
the way, COD fans. I'm still
here. I can't
here.
support that.
I still got my pre-order in.
Yeah, it's just why they were gonna make bank. They're already asking for bank from the franchise league. Why do they need more money? Call of Duty isn't that crazy of a game.
I don't have too many defenses, Xan.
I don't know if there's a single defense.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you've been linking me videos as well about the servers for the beta.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, I can
the netcode is garbage.
I know you were gonna get into that eventually.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of counterpoints. I don't think anyone out there in the Call of Duty scene can say that this is 100% gonna be the best game ever, especially now that we know the things we know. For servers for the beta were terrible especially now that information has been revealed.
Right.
It might not have felt terrible, but they were compared to many other games out there. I can only hope they get better when the game launches. On the point when it comes to supply boxes, loot boxes, whatever you want to call them, Gaming Rev has now leaked that, yes, it's going to be pretty egregious on the fact they're going to try and cash out at every single skin, camo, potentially even guns.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
I'm just shocked they went back.
The game is not out yet, and so I'm holding on.
Yes, the game is not out yet.
These are leaks. They're not confirmations. They're probably going to be true, but I'm holding on to it. Okay.
I'm right there with you. If the game comes out, I'm going to give it a month. If after a month all this turns out to be false, I'll pick up a copy the minute we hit 31 days. I'll be like right there. I'll be so happy to play. But like this is like par for the course with Activision Blizzard. So I have no doubt they're just going to be like...
You're making great points.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I'm still getting it is because it felt great to me, and I have friends who are guaranteed going to play it.
Oh, so do I.
If this was any other game, I'm gone. But
I'm super crushed.
Yeah.
Now I potentially, this might be a game I never play.
Yeah.
Like, it really
So like you make great points, but I am going to hang on because I have friends who are going to play. So
it's more than fair.
I'm on that board. I know plenty of people are, but I definitely get your side of things as well. I'm just hanging on to the fact that I hope servers get better. I hope the loot boxes and supply drops are not going to unlock weapons. I hope to God that's not true.
They did in Black Ops 4.
And
the best weapon in Black Ops 4 came from a loot box.
And I hope, my third hope, that I'm hanging on to, that they do revert the survival mode only being for PS4 exclusive, which they probably aren't because it's a partnership.
Yeah, I think
I hope they reduce it. But
they might roll it back to like 6 months.
They better, Xan. You know what comes out after 12 months? A new Call of Duty.
Yeah, which is like...
It's like, what the frick are you... Sorry, pardon my...
It doesn't make any sense.
My frick French.
Like, honestly, I wonder... What executive
thought
this was a good idea? Like, hey, I mean, even for stuff like Destiny, where the game's going to be around for like 3-4 years, even then, when they have like one mission, like exclusive to PS4, nobody was happy. Even like, PS4 people weren't happy. They weren't like, oh, this is great. Now I'm gonna. No, everybody was unhappy.
No one in their right mind is looking at Call of Duty Modern Warfare and saying, "Oh, survival mode comes out in a year. I'm gonna hop on that in a year."
Yeah.
No, by then you have fallen off. 99.99% of the people who are gonna buy your game are not gonna buy it then and be like, "Yo,
no, yeah, definitely.
Yo, Xan, survival mode's out. You want to get COD now?"
Yeah.
No.
Yo, just watch in a year. hate the fact that I have this thought, and I could see it happening so easily. Watch in a year, they announce, hey, survival mode comes out. Modern Warfare is free to play.
If it was a bigger mode, I could see it happening.
Yeah,
but apparently it's so small.
Yeah.
But that definitely would be good timing, right? Like Modern Warfare is free, survival mode's now for everyone too.
And that would give people a reason to play that over
it'd
the new Call of Duty.
It'd be a little peak.
Yeah.
But then again, aren't you? I don't know. This COD franchise thing is such a fun thing to talk about because they've done so many things right and so many things wrong. And then you throw on top of that they release a new one every year.
Yeah, they should stop that. They need to calm down.
Would you stop a cash cow that you can get away with every single year? I don't think anyone in their right mind would.
I think they have to past a certain point because they're gonna start seeing diminishing.
It takes
returns.
a real man to be like, I can make tens of millions every year. Why would I stop? It takes a real man to say no.
In my mind, the way I see it is, I could make tens of millions every year, or I can make hundreds of millions if I waited 2 or 3.
But that's from the outside perspective. I'm saying if I'm in Activision's shoes or Treyarch's shoes and I can do this every year, every other year, as a trade-off, I'm doing it. I'm not going to lie. I'd do it.
Wait, hey,
I'm a selfish bum. You might not, but I definitely can't blame them for doing it. With everything you've said, though, I think we can only hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, my fingers are crossed so hard. I really hope.
We hope this is the Call of Duty.
I hope they roll everything back. I hope they're like, hey, we realize we're being greedy blank, so we're gonna stop. But
we know what's gonna happen. We can only be hopeful from here on out, Xan. All right, Xan, let's try and make this one an interesting topic. Let's try and make it a bit of a quicker subject. Whenever I say that,
rapid fire
never ends up quick.
So this is going to be about 30 minutes, right? Are we talking about this?
You guys can fast forward. Speaking of Call of Duty, I think it's really weird. We talked about earlier, I wanted to loop back to this, about the 3 paths that organizations are going down.
Yes.
One of those paths was franchises. One of them is kind of just a general broad esports, the basics, right? You're going for esports teams, but trying to avoid maybe those franchises, or at least all of them. And so I talk about now, we have several teams out there, especially as of late, Evil Geniuses, NRG, 100T. Either teams are getting out of Call of Duty and going to Counter-Strike and more mainstream games like League of Legends, or they are going into Call of Duty and leaving those mainstream games because of the price to pay. Yeah. And so let me try and get this right. It's kind of when I overthink these kind of things, it's in my head. NRG, they've now joined Call of Duty and left CSGO. Evil Geniuses, they leave Call of Duty, they join CSGO, taking NRG's team. And now we have 100T, who is not going to be in Call of Duty, and they are actually trying to get into CSGO and possibly a lot of other mainstream games. And so I'm very curious on your opinion about this, and I think I know your answer. When it comes to the franchises out there, you're an organization. What are you doing if you have some funding out there? Are you hopping into a franchise league? Which one, if so? Or are you going towards a more general audience of esports out there?
Honestly, I'd say either the general audience, or if a franchise, I would definitely go league over.
That's what I thought. I'm with you on that.
Because, I mean, everybody knows the Call of Duty franchise league, it could, by some miracle, do well.
It could.
But everything points to it doing really not. We're not well enough anyway to justify the investment. And Overwatch League looks like it's ramping up decently, but we haven't seen anything that actually proves that is worth the investment either, especially because, I mean, I've heard teams are having to put money into their own stadiums and stuff, so it's just more fees just keep piling up. So
and rosters keep on changing every year, and that's just
so many trades. Back
any
and
money
forth.
You're bringing back, you're trading out. It's just it's a complicated system.
It's a tightrope,
and so it really kind of makes me worried for the future of what we're going to see here. But especially, I think when it comes to choosing a game like League, we obviously see the longevity in League of Legends. A game like Counter-Strike, there's a very few set of games out there that have longevity, and so I kind of agree with you in terms of approaching. If it was a franchise, you go to League of Legends.
Right.
I'm also a bit worried about, though, teams that go into Counter-Strike. It's not cheap.
Definitely not, yeah.
And I just think it's very, very interesting to see where these organizations do go and where they allot all of their money, because we've talked about the esports bubble before, and, where that is all going, who knows? I think you make a great point that I want to end this topic on, though, in a bit, is this franchise league of Call of Duty. We've kind of talked about our worries a lot.
Yeah, we got concerns.
So let's list it out. We have an introductory price for the slot of $25+ million.
Good chunk of change.
Alongside that, we have a game whose viewership is solely dependent upon the success of the game.
Yeah, and that could change next year.
It could change frequently.
Yeah.
We have a game that looks really great. Although despite many rumors about the parts of the game that you don't think would affect the franchise league, but they certainly will. I made a point in a video about this. So you have Activision making these choices that are vastly going to affect the players, the community who plays the game, which thus affects the viewership even further of the league. If I don't like a Call of Duty, I'm probably not going to watch it competitively. I would say a majority of people think that same way. If you're not playing the game, the odds of you watching it are so low.
Yeah, which blows my mind that they are picking this game to continue with the microtransactions on. Because you'd think with the franchise league coming up, they'd want to
crossplay for the first time ever.
Yeah, you'd think they'd want to stack the deck to make it so everybody can play. Everybody's happy.
You can have subtle loot boxes. People will cash in on those, but they keep on reaching because I think they see it. This is our franchise year. This is our crossplay year. We should cash out right now.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really scary because you have what could be potentially the best Call of Duty we've seen in a long time. You have the $25 million franchise fee on one side pounding you.
Yeah.
You have Activision ruining your game constantly. This is going to look real weird. Just pounding you.
Want some shake weights? We can actually
from inside out. You have this COD game that could be great, but two giant pillars that are crumbling.
Yeah, they could, honestly, it could ruin the company.
It could ruin a lot of things. And so I don't know. And I don't know where we're going with this. I'm just very, very worried for the future, and I hope people understand why.
2020 is going to be an interesting year.
Really? It is.
Yeah.
Like, where will Activision Treyarch be? Where will Call of Duty be? Where will franchise leagues be? It is solely dependent upon these choices that orgs are making. And if you're an org, you said you're going to General Esports or League of Legends.
Right.
We have orgs out there taking the risk. They are going to Call of Duty. They are going to a franchise league. They're going to CSGO. And only a few of these orgs are going to have their risks pay off potentially.
No, yeah. You got to factor in, that investment, whether or not you get that back depends on, will you win?
Yeah.
Are your players going to be good in this Call of Duty versus the other Call of Duty?
Or will this COD be successful enough?
Yeah, right.
And so for me, I'll close on this. What organizations will be around 3 to 4 years from now because of the choices they are making now?
Cronky.
Cronkies. Because they're who knows, man. You really look at the brands like FaZe and 100T, and they are taking such vast different approaches, safer approaches. Evil Genius is leaving Call of Duty. These organizations are making plays they think are going to be the right ones. And 3 to 4 years from now, we're going to see organizations saying, I told you so, or I'm out of here.
Definitely.
So, scary times.
All right, Jake, you know the deal. We can barely let a week go by without talking about Tencent.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say Stadia. So, we're on good.
Hey, we've given it a break for a couple weeks.
So, what's Tencent? For all you podcast listeners on iTunes or Spotify, I am bowing down right now.
Yeah, we have a lot of respect for Tencent and all the amazing things they are doing for the video game industry.
Tencent is an amazing company, and I love Tencent. Do not kill us.
Yeah, right? God, see, y'all are scary.
They're so good, though.
Yeah, and then this thing is gonna drive home the point even more that they're just making moves. Bro. Tencent just makes moves left and right.
That's all they do.
And they're all killers. How is everything Tencent does? Like, hey, yeah, we told League to make a mobile game, and they weren't down, so we just made our own,
and did way better.
Yeah, just made billions of dollars.
The thing is,
no
when
big
you
deal.
said Tencent are killers, I'm picturing not the right thing.
Yeah, right. No,
like you're saying killers as in successful. I'm thinking like, oh God, help!
Like they're banging on the door right now.
But seriously, Tencent, we love you. What they do, man?
Okay, so they're over here. New partnership with Qualcomm. Viewers may be familiar with Qualcomm because if you have an Android phone, there's a decent chance if you have a newer one, they got a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor.
Sounds pretty cool to me.
Really, really strong. Really
Ninja
great.
Doesn't have an Android anymore.
Oh, well,
A different topic for a different day.
Samsung couldn't cut a big enough check, He was like, you know what? I know my viewership is 10% of what it used to be, but if you can just bump that fee by 10% too.
I shouldn't have brought this up, dude.
But anyway, so they're doing some really interesting stuff with AI, specifically for esports.
Dear God. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, right?
Tell me about
Tencent is low-key about to, they're going to be the Terminator company.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Kind of, but anyway, what'd they do?
Anyway, so they're looking into generating quality AI opponents for esports.
Like AI training?
Yeah.
They are not the first, so you're piquing my interest.
Yeah, but they're not the first, but I got faith. If anybody's going to make it happen, quickly and make it
Heck
happen
yes.
well is going to be Tencent and
Yes.
Qualcomm. So basically, they said their whole thing is like, hey, we want to create good AI training units for esports teams to play against. So like, say if I'm on Optic, everybody's got to scrim. You gotta hide some of your tactics. You can't actually try everything
Against opponents.
Yeah,
Real
'cause,
opponents.
yeah. You got to keep it on the down low,
Of course.
even though you still got to play the match to get some good flow going. They're saying like, hey, we could train an AI to. They're gonna be. This is our FaZe AI. So team can play against FaZe without actually even playing against FaZe.
So you can literally, you can play FaZe in scrims or whatever, and then set up your AI to mimic FaZe tactics.
Yeah. So you can practice against them.
The future, man.
Which is going to be so interesting. And you know what?
That is wild to even I can't even wrap my head around it.
Yeah, because remember, like just this week, we had this drama about bots because everybody hates bots. But imagine if those bots were just as good as actual players, and you couldn't tell the difference.
Because everyone who launches AI or these bots in games, they eventually, of course, they have different difficulties, but they're never going to mimic exact. At least right now.
You know what's really interesting, actually? Killer Instinct already kind of did this. Killer Instinct, a fighting game.
Okay, I was going to say, what?
Yeah. It came out like, I want to say 2014, 2015, Xbox One launch title.
Yeah.
They had this really interesting thing. I think they were called like Shadow something. I'm sorry, I can't. KI was so long ago. Yeah, Shadow whatevers, right? And they could kind of copy players' movements. Yeah. Like kind of close. Like, obviously they weren't perfect, but they were getting there. And so if the technology was that state back in 2015,
yeah. And then, of course, we have Dota 2's AI. We also, a few people have contacted us. 2 different companies, I believe, are working on CSGO specific ones. Yeah. Dude, you just get me excited when you bring up stories like this. When a company like Tencent says they want to get into something, they go into it.
And they go hard.
And so the fact that you are now bringing up things that I really hadn't thought about, you can scrim teams. You somehow give it to your developer and say, yo, mimic this. All of a sudden, you're practicing FaZe when they aren't even awake. Yeah, you practice FaZe 10 or 12 times, and then you actually scrim them, and all of a sudden, they're like, whoa, we're getting beat down by Optic.
How do they know I was going to take a right there?
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. You know what's actually super interesting? They're already talking about, hey, how can we make this available for the public, too? How can we make it so that, hey, Jake, you want to play against Astralis? You can do that.
Oh my!
They're talking about like,
dude, this is sick.
It's so dope, and they're talking about AIs replacing coaches, giving you like analyzing your gameplay in real time.
I have heard about this, but only for specific games. So you can imagine it will take some time.
Yeah,
obviously. But the fact is this: you could have future teams. I picture like the Liquids, the big teams out there. They're hiring chefs, they're hiring managers, and then they're hiring AI guys to keep their programs up to date.
To program like new simulations and everything is going to be so crazy.
People are going to be so good at games. It's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Everybody is so much better than they used to be.
Did we have this thought together?
We might have.
Me and Maj, our team leader, definitely did. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just thinking about thinking about how good people used to be in MW2.
Yeah.
And then thinking hey, the flick shots in R6 are way crazier.
Bro, we had fun back in the day.
Yeah.
People were good and we were having fun. Me and our team leader were talking about this. We'll close on this point as well. Imagine you and me. We're not trying to sound like adults here, but we grew up in the age, and a lot of you guys did as well, where we actually went outside. We had birthday parties outside. I'd say I went outside quite a bit. Played soccer, all these sports growing up. Imagine today, though, where the possibilities for kids are endless, especially when games like Fortnite bring in so much money. We have the new generation in the next 5 to 10 years. Their entire upbringing has been around. They're the type of kids to every day be trying to play video games.
Yeah, right.
Kids are going to, and we see this in CS, we see this in other esports, Call of Duty as well. The people being signed are younger and younger and younger.
Yep. 5
to 10 years from now, the kids are going to adapt. It's going to be insane to see how good people are.
To that same point, I was thinking the other day, it's wild how I don't know if you ever tried to pull this when you were a kid, but I don't think I did either, but I definitely know people who did. Who you try to be games are legitimate, let me play more XYZ, I gotta grind, I gotta get to XY level. But now if I was a 14-year-old playing Fortnite every day, I could just be hey mom, look, Booga made $3 million. and I could do that.
And think if you were a parent that had no idea, you're oh, yeah, Jimmy, go play. Yeah, for sure, go play.
Right.
And I don't know. It's going to be weird to see AI, especially. We'll keep it back towards that topic. AI, I'm so excited when Tencent gets involved.
Yes.
And so whenever we have updates, we'll keep you guys posted. Tencent trying to approach AI, anything they do is going to be a game changer, this included. And with that, Xan, we conclude a 20th episode, which has been, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah,
man.
I had a good time too.
You bring some great stories to the table,
so do you, my guy. I've enjoyed our conversation today.
All right, housekeeping. Hit him with it, man.
Yeah, okay. So as always, do not forget, if you want to listen to us, the Esports Rewind, on the go, feel free to check us out on iTunes, Spotify, your podcast app of choice, under the Prediction Esports Talk Show Network. That's PREEDICTION.
That's Prediction with 2 E's, folks.
Yeah. You know, it's the move. We got a bunch of other great esports podcasts there too. So if you see something you like, hey, maybe give it a shot. You can always find us. Like Jake said earlier, we just hit 50K this week. Thank you guys again so much for that. We're on YouTube at Esports Talk. Twitter at talk_esports.
Man, you got this spiel down, bro.
Yeah.
Anything else? If you guys want to keep on DMing us, we've had a great few people out there give us stories. We try and cover as much as possible. We're trying to slowly expand into other titles as well.
Right.
And it really does help when you guys send us stories. We might not respond to every message, but just know we do see every message. I read most of the comments out there. So for me at least, especially with 50K announcement, guys, thank you very much. We really do appreciate you guys.
Definitely.
And for anything on the website as well, we got great content on there as well.
Yeah,
website,
esportstalk.com.
Yeah, website revamp is slowly being there. So a few months from now, we should have some.
Hey, we're making good progress.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the design finalized. We're in the coding stages right now. I know the site's it's shaky.
It's getting there.
But hey, we got good content on the site though.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys keep watching. We'll keep grinding over here. Thank you guys all very much.
Thank you.
Xan, to episode number 20. Here's the 21 next week. Thank you guys all for watching the Esports Rewind podcast. Until next time, we'll see you then.